Hello, my name is Shannon, and this semester I took a road trip. It was very fun. My destination on my road trip, I took a road trip to the NPX country. My destinations were the town of teamwork, the cosmopolis of communication, the hamlet of hydroponics, the village of visuals, and the city of cooking. My first destination, the town of teamwork. By visiting this town, I learned a lot. That teamwork is hard to achieve, and once you do it, everything is a lot easier in the group. And I had to learn to use my teamwork in the kitchen during the cooking competition and the cooking field trips. And I also had to use the teamwork that I learned to work better in a group in the classroom or during the work days. Here are some pictures of the building process, and we had to use a lot of teamwork in this process because we had to communicate well. We had to ask questions like find the materials and just have a lot of teamwork. This is when we were building a hydroponic system, and this is me with Thorn building a hydroponic system. These two pictures are when we were building the plant table for our plant hospital project that we did in the first semester. Obstacles I faced in teamwork. Every so often, robbers in the town would take my teamwork skill, and I would have to regain it. The robbers kind of being an example of some examples when I would debate with my team and I wouldn't use my teamwork skill very well. Without teamwork, time management during the mock competition was almost impossible because we didn't really have much teamwork in the mock competition. So it we were a little like 5 to 10 minutes over the time limit, which was a problem. So we really had to watch our time during the competition. And then the lack of teamwork resulted in the unfair division of labor. So we would debate because we would divide the labor, and some people thought it was unfair. My second destination is the cosmopolis of communication. During my visit, I learned that good communication is important. I use the communication skills I gained in my journey in the kitchen, like I said before. Teamwork and communication are really good keys in a good group, because without communication, you won't go anywhere. And I use this communication skills also to express my ideas in my group, because on some days we would have to make ideas for a hydroponic system, or make ideas for the design of our system or the design of our recipe. So we had to express a lot of ideas, and some of them were debatable, and some of them we had to actually choose, which had a lot of communication in the process. The obstacles I encountered in the cosmopolis of communication. Muggers kept stealing my precious skill of communication, and as a result, on some occasions I couldn't communicate as well and express my ideas, which resulted in the problems of group communication and arguing. My lack of communication resulted in non-cooperation with team members, and which actually resulted in the arguing a lot in the cooking field trips, which is a big problem. And unfortunately, there were many cases of miscommunication. For example, one field trip we forgot some ingredients because we didn't have that much communication. And the next field trips we really communicated well. We made a detailed materials list, so we can bring the right ingredients to the next field trip. Okay. My third destination, the hamlet hydroponics. During my stay in the small settlement, I had to learn how to design and locate materials materials for a hydroponic system. I also had to learn how to construct a hydroponic system and would support my plants. In addition, I learned how to maintain the system so that my plants would stay healthy all semester. So this is is an example of the year-long project that we did for sustainability. In the first semester, we had to design a system, and then we had to actually locate the materials at Home Depot. And the obstacles I faced were a lot of people in the town told me that a nearby town with a similar system would try to sabotage our system. And this is actually what happened in real life during spring break. We think that's going to sabotage our system. We had a catastrophic event during the spring break, like I just said before. By the end of it, all of our plants were either dead and critical, and we had to save them. That's kind of cost our competition. My team had difficulty designing a system that was easy to build and maintain because we wanted a system that was easy to locate materials, and the budget was really high. My fourth destination, the villager visuals. Villagers taught me that there can be all kinds of visuals, so think creatively. Once the villagers told me that I tried to be more creative and design detailed visuals this semester. For example, in STEM, we had a lot of infographics that we did all year. Some examples. This is one that we had to do during our group work days. This is one that all of our vegetables are from and some facts about it. And then one thing we had to do in STEM class was we had to make a protein synthesis infographic. And this was actually one of my first infographics I did last semester, early this semester. And my infographics really improved overall because my last one was this one. And it just really improved from this to this because this is basic information, that's detailed information. And then here's a link to my team's Aquaponics documentary because it's an example of a visual too that we learned because in the beginning of the semester we made kind of a rough draft and it sucked because it was just made out of iPad iMovie, but then towards the end we learned how to make a good documentary and it actually turned out pretty good. So yeah, this is my team's documentary. Should I play it or?
Play it for just a little bit. Okay, Shannon, that's good.
There.
Yeah.
And then, the challenges in the village or visuals. During my visit, some bandits tried to steal my visual creativity skills, and this caused problems because this made me have procrastination in trying to rebuild the skill, and it was hard to focus and decide on one thing on the infographic, and time management because a lot of my infographics were late, and that was a big problem because it hurt my grade, and I just didn't have well manage my time. And then lack of collaboration during the group infographics. I didn't really collaborate that well with my group members, and I should have communicated more better. And final stop of my amazing trip, the city of cooking. Met a lot of famous chefs in the city of cooking, and they taught me many cooking techniques, and I learned many recipes when I was there. I can use these skills in the future, for example, in college or in a family, because every girl likes a guy to cook. This is a stop motion video of a cooking field trip that we did during the mock competition. Right here is actually our dish, our recipe, which is a chicken pesto pasta with pesto chicken with a side salad. It's called the pasta pasta. And then over there is our pasta that's cooking. And right here is our amazing chicken. And here's our salad. The challenges I faced in the city of cooking. I was faced with many problems during my stay, and the division of labor, because we couldn't decide on what to do in the kitchen, we couldn't decide what we're gonna do, like who's gonna cut, who's gonna do the pesto, who's gonna do the pasta, who's gonna do the chicken. So we had some problems in there. And focusing, because we kind of lost focus, sometimes we would just lounge around and not do work. And cooking to perfection. There were some times where the pasta or the chicken was a little over or undercooked, and we had to practice that because we needed it to be perfected. And then my final project was the MPI Iron Chef, and I had to bring all my skills into that final presentation. I had to use the skill of communication to communicate well in my group during the competition, because if I don't, then it just will throw everything off and we won't finish in time. And I also had to use teamwork, and without any of the obstacles I originally encountered getting in the way. For example, collaboration or miscommunication, things like that. I also use the skill of hydroponics to grow amazing, flavorful vegetables that we use in our dish or recipe. Only some vegetables, so I'm using. I use visuals to create a beautiful display of a recipe on the plate for the judges and the audience, and as well as a poster advertising our TV and documentary telling the story of our project. I finally use the techniques and ideas from cooking field trips to create and cook an awesome recipe. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Shannon. Shannon, what artifact are you most proud of and why?
Infographics, because I really improved on them. Any type of visuals, the shoot, the 3D design, the documentary, just really improved on all of those. The villager visuals is supposed to mean like anything that would be in kits that has to do with visuals or eye appealing posters.
I liked your plaque. Did you enjoy presenting this POL?
I was a little nervous. Yeah.
But you did well. Okay, any other questions for Shannon? Mike, Sheena has a question for you.
Is this a question or criticism?
I was asking you.
Alex.
I have a question. You know, during spring break, how many times do you come to the system to look at it?
Oh my gosh.
No,
Stop